Ciao a tutti e benvenuti ad un altro episodio delle Interview X. Oggi abbiamo qui con noi uno degli advertiser che stimo di più al mondo e come sapete questa intervista sarà completamente in inglese. Quindi da questo momento in poi parleremo solo ed esclusivamente in inglese. Let me introduce you to one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best advertiser out there that put out a ton of content that help thousands of people understand how to use and leverage the platforms in the right way. There is no need for me to introduce him, but Tim, if you want to spend a few words and explain who you are, it would be amazing.
Sure, and I want to first thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. So hello, everybody in Italy and abroad. I'm in, where am I right now? I'm in Madrid. My name's Tim Burd. For those of you that don't know me, I've been doing Facebook advertising for about 8 or 9 years now, something like this. And I run the Facebook ad buyers group, which we're up to 92,000 members now. I run Ad Leaks, which is a paid community. And then I have an ad agency, speak at conventions, and so on and so forth. Basically just like a huge Facebook ad nerd. So,
and you never get bored with everything that's going on with Facebook and everything, I assume.
It's actually really hard to get bored because they update stuff so often. That's the fun part, actually.
So I'll jump right into it because I want to pack as much value as possible in these 45 minutes we have. And I assume everyone here in the group knows you. We really push people to go to Facebook ad buyers. We have a few members, really active members that have been in Ad Leaks for 6 to 9 months right now.
Cool.
And I know that everyone as of now is kind of scared about the fact that in September, everyone has to launch campaigns in the CBO. And I'm not interested in the technical part of it, but more your strategic point of view on where Facebook ads management in general is going, with the AI coming in, with tools like reveal bot rules and all of that. How do you see that? How do you see this industry developing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So in general, I know that AI, et cetera, machine learning will eventually take over most people's jobs in the world. We already see that happening at restaurants and, grocery stores and that kind of thing, right? Now, one thing that I've noticed is that, 10 years ago, I would have thought that most jobs would be robots already, right? And here we are, and Facebook still can't do CBO right. You'd think it'd be very simple, right? But it's not. So one, with CBO being, required coming here in a couple of months, it is getting much better, and I'm actually releasing a method at my mastermind coming up in a few days in Barcelona, and then I'm doing this speech at iStack at Facebook and Ecom Mastery Live, and I'm revealing a new method called the slider, and it's a great method and it uses CBO. It's like it's the way I test things now. I used to use a 388 method, but now that CBO is going to be required, I made a new updated version that's actually nothing like the old one, but still accomplishes the goal. So CBO basically, I'm not worried about it. Worst case with CBO, what you can do is you can just set minimum and maximum ad set budgets, right around what you want to spend. Like if you want to spend $100 per ad set, you could just set the minimum at 98 and the maximum at 102, and then it'll spend, kind of in the middle there, right? Or close to it. So you can still kind of get around, you don't have to fully use CBO, right? That's what I'm trying to get at. And then in general, where I see the ad world going and automation and whatnot, I think it's going to take a lot longer than people think. Whereas some of us might be like, oh, it'll be only a couple of years until we're out of a job. No. It'll be probably more like 20 years realistically. And even then, it's still going to be computers are good at the technical stuff. They're not good at the artistic stuff. So they're not going to be able to, the computer won't be able to talk to a client, figure out their goals, figure out, what kind of advertising they're okay with, make a creative, talk to the client, see what they want changed. Oh, it's too fast. Well, a computer doesn't understand what that means, I think where I see, I guess, the ad world going, if you will, is focusing more on creatives, which honestly right now, I focus a lot on the technical aspect of the ads, of course, but good creatives, without good creatives, you can get as technical as you want and it's useless. So people really should right now start focusing more on building better creatives. That doesn't mean spending more money. It just means doing better creatives, right? That could be, learning Photoshop. You can learn Photoshop in a weekend. There could be just using cool tools like Lumen 5 or Animoto and making quick little videos. But whatever you do, creatives are really important. So that's something that's one of my, I guess, weak points that I'd say about myself. So lately I've been studying a little bit of copywriting and looking more into the anatomy of a good ad, creative wise.
Yeah, and in terms of, we have a mastermind. So I recorded the lesson the other day for the mastermind where the thing was, you might have the best targeting in the world with the worst creative, you're not gonna convert. But if you have the worst targeting in the world and the best creative, you're probably gonna convert regardless. So in that sense. I'm happy you're saying that, because I found in my experience with the small experience I have that actually that's creative as of now. It's really important. And the CBO for me, I've been using it since it came out. Like I think in some accounts I had it since May last year, June last year. And I'm a data-driven person. I mean, I don't have a marketing background. I understand numbers really well. I've studied physics a bit, so I'm really data-driven. And what I saw with the CBO is that it's, in a way, it's Facebook showing his hand. So that if I hyper-segment it and I divide by age, ranges, sex, and gender, and placement, and I really hyper-segment it, having, 60 ad set within a campaign, of course, I need to have the budget for that. Facebook is going to show me where he wants to spend, and also he's going to tell me where to optimize based on his behavior. Do you think that's a good approach to take? So you leveraging the CBO to acquire as much data as possible on the audience, and then refine the creative based on the performance of the audience.
Absolutely, I think that's a definitely good way to do it. I do think though that over segmenting is bad. So it depends how much you're segmenting. I always try to have an audience. Granted, I run mostly like US or worldwide campaigns, but I always like to have audiences of at least 1 million. So if you can segment down ages and placements and whatnot, and still have around 1 million per ad set, then that would work pretty well, I think. You do need to have a good sized budget to do that. Obviously, you can't just have like a little budget and do 60 ad sets. But yeah, I mean, I think as long as you're setting a minimum spend per ad set, that would work fine. Because you say like it's Facebook showing their hand, and that's a great way to put it, actually. But it's really Facebook. It's showing it both ways, because if you don't put a minimum ad set spend, they're just going to kind of like allocate the money almost randomly, or based on like very, very little data. Which again, that's showing its hand that it's not really that great yet, just without any settings, So having those minimum ad set budgets is super important. But yeah, I like the way you do that. I typically do less ad sets than that, unless it's my cloud method, and then I do like 60 or 70 ad sets.
Yeah, and of course I went for an exaggeration. Of course, 60 where you really want to really go deep, but in that case, still you need to have like a 3 to 4K a day budget for that type of campaign if you want to really go deep. But if, for example, we had I'm running campaigns for a startup for an app. And we are targeting 20 different countries, and different countries have different behaviors and different demographics. And we needed to know. It's a startup, so they have limited budget, and we need to maximize the results. They don't care about volume as much. They need to have that type of ROAS or the type of CPI. Yeah. So in that case, that was great for me to leverage the insights. But I'm really interested about the technical aspect. I think it's important, but we know that the platform is changing so fast that probably what we're doing as of now is not going to work 4 years from now. So I really want to understand your strategic long-term kind of view for your clients. What's the thing that you think most people underestimate, but it's actually the golden nugget when dealing with a campaign?
Good question. And I wouldn't say there's just one thing. Okay. Okay, I guess actually, and this might be kind of out of the box, but I guess if I had to give like one piece of advice to people on how to make more money with their Facebook ads, that not many people are doing, it would be to recommend multivariate testing on the landing page or your funnel. People fight with Facebook all day long to get their costs down like 25% or 50% to cut their cost in half. But you can do that on the landing page side much easier, much cheaper, and typically much faster even. So multivariate testing has been kind of one of my secret weapons that I've been using for like 7 years now. And there's a lot of campaigns that I've run and client work that I've done that would not have been profitable if not for multivariate testing. That was like the single thing that made the difference, I guess. Good creatives and good proper campaign structure and good audience segmentation and whatnot. Obviously, like one of the most important thing out of all of that, personally.
And that's I mean, people usually don't understand that if decreasing the CPC by 10% or increasing the conversion rate of their landing page by 10% basically gives you the same result. So while on one end you might have reached the level where Facebook is not going to let you decrease the CPC, competition comes in, but if you have the best funnel and the best website compared to your competition, you're going to win regardless. But the only win, as you said, the only way to know it is to test multiple landing pages, to test multiple different funnels, multiple different customer journeys, and see which one at the end brings the best result. With this, what do you think? So I think it's related a bit. How does this relate to the number of creatives you test? Like, I mean, some clients, it might not be the case for you, but for most people in the group, you don't get clients that have a 10K retainer a month or 100K marketing management budget for the year. And the client doesn't understand the need for a new ad, for a new image, for a new video every week or every 2 weeks. How are you able to explain or to educate the client so that you shift the focus not to the strategy and the campaign structure, but to actually the creative and the web development they need?
That's a good question. And I actually keep it real simple. If they say, hey, we gave you 3 creatives to start. It's only been a month. Why do you need more? I'm like, well, we don't need more. If you want the cost to go up, we can keep it just how it is. We'll do our best with the landing page and all that. But if you want your costs to go down, we need more creatives. It's that simple. And then how I usually do what the analogy that I use is, have you ever been watching TV and you see a TV commercial over and over and over and over and over and again, the same exact commercial, and it kind of makes you hate that company a little bit, for annoying you so much. But if you see another commercial from the same company, it's like, okay, you can deal with that. It's fine. So I just kind of explain it like that, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, I get it." So that's usually what I tell them.
And you said over and over and over again, which brings me to the frequency question, which I think a lot of people don't understand. So. There is as we said briefly before we started the interview, a lot of people are teaching old methods, wrong methods, and unfortunately people are following that. And sometimes you read people that are getting crazy about, hey man, I mean, last week I had frequency of 1.1, now it's 1.2. Why is that happening? I'm reaching less people. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I don't care about the 1.2. If, in my opinion, I try to have a frequency of 4 in a month, because I mean, before you buy an iPhone, you're going to see that Apple logo probably 64 times in the previous 3 months.
Yeah.
So do you think do you like higher frequency? Do you think frequency really matters, or do you think it doesn't?
100%. It definitely matters. They used to say that it was, I think it was like 8 to 10 touch points, or frequency in this case, was what it takes before a sale. That was more in like the TV advertising days. When a commercial meant more than an online banner ad, right? It has like a heavier weight, So now I'd say, I mean, I don't think there's like official studies on this, at least not that I've seen. So I would say that if it's like an internet ad, it's probably more like 20 to 30 touch points before they buy, somewhere in that range, maybe even more. So to me, I don't even look at the frequency unless it's on my retargeting campaigns. And even then, as long as my frequency is like, I don't know, around 5 per day or lower, I'm good. And like 20 a week, totally cool with. Same thing though, you do need to rotate creatives. So one thing that I've been finding that works really well with cold and with hot traffic also is dynamic creatives. because then it's easy to set up and it's always like rotating then for you, which then makes your creative last longer. So that's one thing that'd be very helpful. But yeah, frequency to me, I mean, I look at it, but 1.1 versus 1.8 to me is no different. I'm just looking for like, again, like I said, like over 20, honestly, to me is good.
Of course, to reach a frequency of over 20 on a big audience that has a statistical, let's say, meaning, you need the budget to do it. So if you have 1 million audiences in each ad set and you want to have, I mean, I don't know, you got 30% of that, 300 people. So 20 times is 6 million impressions a week. So you need the money to actually spend it, 18, 20K a week. So in order to set it up, of course, you need the budget. But regardless, we need to think that, I think we need to think that we are always selling things to people. And you need to engage with them, but in a certain way, you need to convince them and raise that brand awareness that everyone says, brand awareness, but it's actually a thing. It actually exists. It's actually important.
It's actually a really big thing. We see with our clients at the agency that if it's like a brand new drop shipping store or something that no one's ever heard of, our goal is to get like a 2 or 3 ROAS, right? If it's like a brand people have heard of, then we can do more like 5 to 10 ROAS, and typically more in the 8 to 10 range. So that brand recognition is really worth a lot of money, net. Like everyone out there watching this right now, imagine if your ROI just tripled right now, how much money you'd be making, and how much more you could scale, right? Also, so brand recognition is huge. It's amazing, honestly, and it's something that takes a lot. It takes time, it takes investment. It doesn't happen overnight.
And I don't know. This is just a confirmation for me. I found that in the cold part of the funnel, so let's say in the top of the funnel, one good way for me or the clients I have as of now, it's simply really, really, really broad PP campaign with a lot of different creatives and just having them interact. It doesn't need to be a salesy creative. It doesn't need to be. Could be just a lifestyle. Like I don't know. I look at luxury brands a lot because they usually don't do product placement. They do more a lifestyle ad. Like, perfumes, you might have people diving from a cliff and you see the perfume like 1 second at the end, but that's just to create a touch point, raise brand awareness. And then we work with it in the middle.
It's to create the emotion too, the emotion. They want to tie their brand to that emotion.
And that's
so you see like Coca-Cola commercials, it'll be like it'll be like, oh, like cute little puppy, Coca-Cola,
And it makes sense. I mean, Coca-Cola, and that's the thing. I mean, it doesn't matter what you put in whatever type of creative you want. Everyone is going to recognize that logo. Everyone is going to recognize that color, that sets of color, the color palette. And they can do whatever type of ad, and they put Coca-Cola at the end. You don't even care. It's subconscious right now. You have the emotional connection. You've seen Coca-Cola or Apple or Google or even Facebook at certain points. You've seen them and you connect with Nike especially to me. And you connect with them emotionally, like the Colin Kaepernick kind of campaign. It's something that broke the audience in a way. Then some people thought, well, that was a bad marketing gig from Nike because they lost. In the following day, sales dropped. But if you look at the long term, sales actually went up. I mean, you had an emotional connection with the brand. It's not about the shoes anymore. You're cool, whatever you want, but you identify with the type of brand. And if you're only focusing on, I don't know, I'm just a technical example, only focusing on catalog carousels with the product and everything, you're not going to create that emotional connection. Of course, the ROAS on the PPE is not going to be there. I mean, it's not necessarily going to be there, but in the long term, that's definitely going to be there because you're warming up an audience to then convert them in a second moment.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. And actually, that's actually helping you in multiple ways because you're running engagement and it's tied to your page. And you're running it to your audiences, it's actually helping your page level engagement score also, which is then actually bringing the cost down on your conversion ads as well.
Absolutely. And I'm super happy you're saying this because you're saying it in the group where I'm trying to explain this to people.
Yes, I get it, man. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, it's hard. And I mean, coming from you, it's social proof, which might be brand recognition or whatever we want to call it. But that's the thing, and I like that approach where it's harder to explain to a client sometimes, because of course everyone wants their ROAS. They want it done yesterday and really fast and potentially free. But of course that's not possible, and we need to educate them to up to a certain point. I'm really curious to know, Tim, how you started. So after we went here in the technical part, I think as strategically as it's as the strategy is important, also the mindset and the personal approach to things and to problems is really important. So I'm really curious, because I didn't do any research on my end, but on how you started, and curious to know one of your first clients, so just people can relate it. Not everyone starts with managing $2 million a month in ad spend campaigns.
Sure. So I started actually, yeah, totally. So I went to college for a semester, and it was terrible. I was majoring in business, and I asked my business teacher the first day of school. I said, "Hey, I'm excited. What business did you run?" You know, and I was expecting like some big company, and they were on the board or something. You know, they're like, "I never run a company before." I'm like, "Well, how are you going to teach me?" That's ridiculous. You know, they're like, "I know all about it." I'm like, "You've read books, but you've never done it." You know. So that's when I decided college was not right for me. So then I transitioned, and I was a mortgage broker for about a year. And that's heavily sales. I was cold calling like 300 people a day, which is terrible, you know. And it was very analytical, very number driven, which I'm good at also. So I did that for a while. Then my brother found he's a few years younger than me. He found this like work at home opportunity where you could be an affiliate, basically for affiliate marketing. This is before I had any idea what affiliate marketing was or anything, you know? So we do this, I'm trying it out, you know, I'm making decent money, you know, I'm doing mortgages in Chicago. But then we figure out where you can make money online. You know, in the first week, it's like you make $100. Then like the next week it was like $200, and then it was like 500. And I was like, wow, like, okay, I'm going to quit my mortgage job. So I did that. And then I had an affiliate network for a number of years. We had all sorts of offers, you know, dating, credit reports, mortgages, whatever, right? Like all the normal affiliate offers, if you will. And then I realized that all the money, there wasn't a whole lot of money in running an affiliate network. In fact, it's a lot of risk and a lot of hassle. Where the money was being what they call the advertiser, or owning the offer, or being the brand at the end of the day. So then I started doing lead gen for lawyers. Actually, a friend of mine and business partner, he went to a meeting with a law firm and basically said they were doing it all wrong, and that we could do it a lot better. So he walks out of the meeting and he calls me. He's like, "Hey, can we do this better?" What do we charge them? So that was kind of the first step into Facebook ads for me, was running lead gen for lawyers. And this was about 8 years ago, somewhere in that range. And this is when I also started the Facebook ad buyer group. I only started it actually because there was no other groups that were active and good at the time. And I just let it grow organically. It took me like a year to get to 1,000 people, another year to get to like 2,000, another year to get to like 5. Like, growth was slow, but quality was very high. And I just helped everybody that I could in the group. And then I learned a lot also from it. So then I had a few others. So then I sold that company, and then I did lead gen for lawyers for class action lawsuits. A different niche within the legal niche. Yeah. And then after selling that company, took some time off, then started the agency. Then the ad buyers group got so big, and there's so many posts that people were missing in there that were really good, that I started AdLeaks originally as just a news site to make articles out of the good posts, so that they'd be easy to find on Google. People could like bookmark it. It'd be good for SEO and so on. So. And then throughout this whole process, there's people asking me for consulting. Can you help me with my ads? And I did a bit of that, and then people were asking all the same questions pretty much every time. So that's why I started doing the masterminds, so I could knock out all the stuff people should know in 2 days, all at once. So I don't have to repeat the same thing 30 different times. So yeah, that's kind of like the quick version, if you will.
And I mean, and it's great because it's the real version. I mean, it's not saying that not just for you, but that's how things develop. And it's funny for me because I wasn't doing mortgage when I started. I was doing insurance. People were calling me to sell insurance. I had to upsell them to insure not only their car, but also their motorcycle, their house, and all of that. And then I discovered affiliate marketing as well. I went in as an email traffic provider selling solo ads. Worst thing in the world. I mean, I was pretty good. I mean, I'm saying objectively, it was good. We went to 10,000, 100K email list in 6 months. We were delivering 5K clicks a day. We were doing good money, but I couldn't stand the fact that we were selling traffic to people that were buying offers that wouldn't work. So I leveraged that to start with Instagram, to go on with Facebook, and here we are. We have a question from a member of AdLeaks that's also a member of our group. His name is Daniele. By the way, he's also an amazing advertiser. He just won the second 2 Comma Club award in a row in less than
congratulations.
So he's going to be super. He was super excited for the interview. So he's asking, what do you think about evergreen retargeting flows? Lately, they've been giving me a lot of satisfaction. Do you have any advice?
Yeah. So that's pretty much the way I do all of my retargeting for the most part is all evergreen. So I don't have to ever touch it. So one, especially if it's for e-com, but even if it's not e-com, it still works, is the catalog sales. It's just a really good set it and forget it dynamic creative or dynamic catalog, dynamic product sales, DPA, right? So that's one of my favorite things for evergreen retargeting. And then beyond that, though, I also have some ads set up that are like, why haven't you signed up yet? Check out some testimonials. And then I link them to my testimonial page. Where they can just see all the testimonials. And then I always have that running. Then another one I usually have running is, I don't have it at the moment because I'm busy, but is like $5 or $10 a day of, why haven't you bought yet, basically? Why haven't you signed up yet? Message me. Was it the price? Is it the location? Or is it, do you not trust it yet? You don't know what's covered? Message me. And then you can like convert people over Messenger. So it's basically just having a number of good creatives or whatever, right, that you can use for a long time. And I always want people messaging me, telling me why they don't think it's right for them, so I can show them why it is, or in some cases why it's not. Sometimes they're right and it's not for them. And people always need to see testimonials. The dynamic product ads are great because no matter what product they're looking at, it shows them an ad for it.
And you can pump the frequency with dynamic product ads. You don't even look at the frequency at all. I mean, you know.
Oh no, my frequency is so high, it's amazing. There I get like 5 to 7 a day, and I'm probably sitting at like 35 a week, something like that.
I was worried when I go above 25 because I'm always worried, that they report or something and fucks up the ad account or something. It's my kind of, I think that way. But if you're telling me you're going up to 70, 35, 40, I'll do it. No problem.
The 25 is good. There is a range at which it's kind of annoying, but what you got to think with the dynamic creatives, they might be seeing like 2 products, 5 times, then a different 2 products 5 times, then a different 2 products 5 times, and that's still going to be a 15 frequency, even though they're different products. So with dynamic ads, I don't really watch the frequency as much. But when it's like static ads, so to speak, then I do, because then they're seeing the exact same ad, right? But that's why I've been very heavily on implementing dynamic creatives, so that even a higher frequency there again is like spread around multiple creatives. So it's not like annoying people like the same commercial over and over. So so dynamic creatives are awesome too. And that can be evergreen too, actually.
Yeah.
You just throw a bunch of headlines in there, right? A bunch of ad copies, a few images, a couple of videos, whatever. And boom, you've got like 30 creatives. And then you just go check on it like once a week or once every couple of weeks and get rid of if there's a certain headline that's not performing, just get rid of it and republish the ad. It's simple. So yeah, that's what I do. I don't know if it's not like forever evergreen, but I don't think it's anything. There's like nothing that's forever evergreen out there.
No, I mean, if you have to me, if you have to change it or tweak it once every 2 months or once a month, it's kind of evergreen. I mean, you're going to check it regardless. It's not a major change. There is one hack that I would like that I use, and I would like your opinion on that. So in order to make sure I don't increase the frequency too much on the same type of creative, I put, for example, 5 or 6 videos in one ad set, and I exclude the people that have seen a video in the last 48 hours. So basically, I force Facebook to show a portion of the audience only new videos that they haven't seen in the last 48 hours. If they've seen all 6 in the last 48 hours, it means they've had a frequency of 3 for that specific ad set, so I'm fine. But tweaking it with custom audiences. Do you think that's like a frequency cap kind of approach that would make sense?
Yeah, I mean, that would totally work. And you can use that actually in really powerful ways that maybe you haven't thought of yet even. You could do it as like a little web series. Yeah, exactly. Where this is what we're covering today. Okay, end of the episode. Tune in tomorrow. And you see the next.
That's
people that watch the full video get to see the next one, right?
Yeah,
it's like it's called like a video.
What I have set up.
Yeah, just a sequential video funnel is what I call it, and those are very powerful. What you could do also though is if frequency is really your main concern, you could just make like a rule in RevealBot or write in Facebook or whatever to cut stuff at a certain frequency and then turn it back on the next day.
And for the video, like I called it video indoctrination sequence. I came from email, so we had the indoctrination sequence on Facebook, and we are using it for the middle of the funnel part for an academy, so a physical academy that's a professional workers where you pay $8,000 for a course. It's like a master course for 2 years, and basically I go from video 1 to 4. And going from the broadest video I can make to the very specific one. And then in the copy, I actually say, watch until the end, reach until the end of the video, and you'll see the next step is that in the next 48 hours. And that's working. Optimizing by daily unique reach so that if there are small audiences, so I make sure we reach all of them. And just, including, excluding, trying it out. First time you set it up, it might be confusing. But then once it's done, that's evergreen for sure. You just need to change the creative and the setup, and overall, it's evergreen.
Absolutely.
We have another question that I'll try to make it more. It's from Josue. He's asking something about starting a new brand in a big niche. But what he's asking is, does it make sense? Does it make sense according to you to create a brand that starts with a very vertical in a big niche, leveraging potential interest or potential analytics you have on Facebook, and then scaling it horizontally within that niche?
Could you rephrase the question?
Yes, it's not super clear to me either. What I meant is we have a big niche, like let's say fashion. I don't know. I think that's what he means. Right. And starting a brand very verticalized in a very small
super niche.
Yeah, super niche brand. Do you think that's the approach that you would take, or you would go more for broad?
That's a good question, actually. So it depends how niche that is. If it's, I don't know, okay, if it's like socks for people with 6 toes, that's pretty niche, and then you could expand to 5 toes, but ultimately in this example, there's not that many people that have 6 toes on one foot. So why waste your time? But so it depends really. So if whoever asked this question, if there's enough sales that you can, if there's a big enough market for this specific niche, this sub niche, if you will, even, then that's definitely a good way to start. And then you can go a little bit more, slowly go more broad. If it's too niche, then just go a little more broad to start. But one thing I see people make the mistake of all the time is they go do a general store, for example, that's way too broad. And then they have customers coming in from all different demographics. Then they're not going to convert anything because it's just not specific enough. So you don't want to be too niche and you don't want to be too broad. There's kind of like a fine line in the middle there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can, anyone that finds it usually makes a lot of money initially, and then if you're good in the business, if they have a good business approach, then they can scale it. But
absolutely,
it's basically the sweet spot. The problem is finding the sweet spot. Okay, so I have 4 quick questions before we end. We have 15 minutes left. 4 quick questions before we end it.
4 questions. All right, I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's fire it up. And I'll start with mine. I really like new tools, not because I think the tools can change the approach to the campaigns, but tools can actually save time, and saving time, it's to me, it's the most important thing as of now. So is there one tool that you've discovered lately that few people use, but you think it's amazing?
Lately, no. But I've discovered a bunch that I really love, a year ago, and maybe people haven't heard of all of them. So RevealBot's one that I really love, and that one I think saves me more time than probably any of the other ones.
Yeah.
I set up rules for like pretty much everything. And then if I, almost anything that I find myself doing like 2 or 3 times, even if it's only 2 or 3 times in a month, you can set a rule for that, So that's really one of my favorite tools. And then VWO for multivariate testing is a life. And there's other ones. There's like ConvertTree, and then there's Google Optimize. Like ultimately, just use whichever one helps you get the job done the best, right? And then,
well, ConvertTree is it's a nice tool. I mean, it's dangerous to use in some cases because it's not your website, but
yeah.
And it's easier. You snatch the website and you put it up. Works wonders.
Yeah. And then let's see what else.
Oh, one thing is Jot URL. I work with them, so I'm just asking if you ever heard of them. Jot URL, Jot URL.
I've heard of it, but I'm not familiar with it. Like I don't know what it is.
Do you know PixelMe?
Yeah, that's like a forwarding service that just pixels people, right?
Yes. So basically with Jot, you can put up to 5 pixels on any link, and you can easy dip link to some platforms. I just wanted to know if you knew it. I didn't assume you did, but
I'm familiar with PixelMe and Sniply, where you can do it's basically the same thing.
It's basically the same thing. Jot has the CTAs as well and easy dip link. So I was just curious if you had any use cases or you knew it, but that's basically it. I mean, RevealBot, VWO, I never heard of it. RevealBot, I was looking for the lifetime deal in some weird groups, which they still have the lifetime deal because
the best deal for that out there is in AdLeaks.
For the lifetime deal?
Yeah, it's like 30% off forever.
No, I mean, when there are, they launch on AppSumo, or I don't remember where they launch.
Oh, well, a lifetime deal like that.
Yeah. So there are some people that are still reselling those, and then I've been doing it with the rules management on Facebook, and I'm scared. I don't know how to use it yet, so I just set the rule to send me an email when something happens. So I get the pop up, and I have the filter with Chrome, and I just check it. But RevealBot, it's I've seen it.
RevealBot's actually easier than the Facebook rules. There's a lot of rules that you can't do in Facebook that you can do in RevealBot, and it can still email it to you also.
So I'm definitely looking into that. And I didn't expect ConvertTree, but it saved me tons of time, and it helped me,
Also live chat actually. I've had live chat on most of my landers, and I recommend that all of you guys do, as long as the products you have cost more than like $20.
Okay.
Then it's worth it for sure. Because even if you can just convert a few sales a day, it's worth it. If you're doing like anything close to high ticket, it's super worth it. But Intercom's pretty good, but I've actually lately kind of fallen in love with Drift Chat.
I've heard of it.
Drift. Better. It seems better actually. There's a lot of cool things you can do with it too.
Drift. I'm taking all the notes for this. So the following questions are more personal kind of thing. Okay, so more sure. Mindset or more holistic, so to say. Sure. Moreno is asking, what's the personal characteristic that has helped you the most? Your personal trait, unique personal trait that has helped you the most, in your opinion, to reach the level you've reached, to reach the success you've reached.
It's a good question. Personal traits help me the most. Probably just not giving up. I'm like super stubborn in most aspects of my life. And even when, my parents or whatever were like, what are you doing? Just go get a regular job, I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'll make it work, So basically just being stubborn and super optimistic that you can make it work. Yeah, I guess that would be the simple answer.
Yeah, not giving up. That's
not giving up, right? Exactly.
You're right, or you think that at least to you are right, and you're not going to stop. I think that's something we try to preach as well, because it's important. It's not something they teach you at school, and that's a problem.
For sure, but there's also don't give up's a good easy way to put it, and it's true. But then I've had some businesses where I should have thrown in the towel a little earlier on that business. Of course. So I guess it's more like don't give up on yourself, but possibly know when to give up on your idea and get a new idea, or modify your idea, right? Like just sometimes it's not feasible in the market conditions. So so that's been, I think, really helpful too.
And okay, I totally agree with you. Thanks for sharing. And Stefano is asking, what's the main step in terms of developing your personal brand that took you from zero to hero? What's the one thing that really changed the game for you? Simple.
Be active in Facebook groups. Literally, that's it. People agency owners all the time and whatnot. It's a big portion of my groups as agency owners and whatnot. And, all of them are like, what's the easiest way to get more clients? Like, what's the super secret funnel I need? Or what's the strategy or whatever? And I'm like, you don't need to spend a dime. Literally just go into the big Facebook ads groups and just be super helpful. You don't even have to do posting yourself. Just comment and help every single person and give value. And literally clients will come to you. They'll private message you and be like, hey, I see you know your stuff. You have an agency, you're taking on any new clients currently. And it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And that's really what builds the brand. We have, for example, even in ad leaks, there's a guy named Alex Steele, super nice guy. I really had no idea who he was before ad leaks, but now everyone in ad leaks knows who he is because he's so active. And then same thing, honestly, with everyone like Chris Colvard from the Ad Buyer Group has been active for years. And really just anyone who's super active, people just start knowing their name because they're seeing it everywhere. So yeah, literally just be active in Facebook groups. And I'd say if you spend hours a day doing that, within 1 month, you will have like a full roster of clients for your agency. Like it doesn't take years, like literally in a month. So, yeah.
And I have one message for the audience because we started the group in August, so we reached the 3.2K members in.
Oh wow, that's fast! Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. And since day one, when people were, I'm struggling to get leads. I've been saying, hey guys, I've never spent a time in lead gen. I've never run an ad for my lead generation. I spend 3 to 4 hours a day helping people regarding Instagram, on Facebook groups, on all the Facebook groups, and it works. And everyone was like, no, man, that's never going to work. I said
it works it works no matter who you are. Yeah.
That's, if I say it and you don't trust me, fine. But we have a pretty big confirmation. So like right now, no one has any excuses anymore. Everyone speaks English. If you want to work with clients worldwide, you have tons of groups worldwide where you can share your knowledge and you can help. And the thing is, it's genuine help. It's not that write me in private and I'll help you. It's
right.
Answer the question.
No, you have to help publicly because other people, even though they're not responding, there's a lot of lurkers in groups. There's thousands, there's tons of them. And people will be actively looking. So they'll read your reply and be like, oh, that guy's really smart. And then they're scrolling through the group and they see another comment from you on another post. And they're like, wow, this guy really knows his stuff, And after enough of those, enough frequency, you become an expert in that person's eyes, and that's really all it takes. And then from there, they might ask you for consulting. They might ask you to come work for them. They might ask to hire you as an agency, whatever. But business and money will come your way by helping people. It's actually like truly one of the best things because there's not there's not many things in life where you can like genuinely help people and then like actually make money from it too. And this is one of them. So it's important, and it's very lucrative, and it helps people. So win-win-win.
Yeah, it's a triple win. And one more thing even is people like, I mean, but I'm helping someone that doesn't have money. And I'm like, but if that guy sees
about them
number one, exactly. If that guy sees that you are number one, and for some reason they get a client that they cannot manage, you are the first person they're going to think about. Mm-hmm. You are the one that's getting the referral without ever even working with the guy, just because you helped him and he knows you know much more than him. So that works. I mean, to me, we scaled an agency to good revenue. We had 25 people working for us, and we scaled it just with that. We scaled it just by replying on Facebook groups and LinkedIn, both of them.
That's it, right?
Never spent a euro, never spent a dime. So I know, Tim, that our time is up. I know we might have an announcement to make regarding AdLeaks and the Social Media X Italia code to access. I don't know exactly what's the landing page, or what's the
Sure. So all of you, I don't know if you're familiar with AdLeaks. It's a paid community. It ranges from $30 a month to $100, depending on if you're in gold or platinum. The gold group is if you're brand new to ads, like don't even know what a pixel is. Platinum would be if you have experience and you want to be with the best of the best. We have like a couple hundred little courses, tutorials, videos, etc. in there. There's a lot of great information. And we now have a wait list. We took away, there's no more trials. We now have a wait list. But I made a deal here for everyone in. If you just go to joinadleaks.com, click apply now, and in a couple of the questions it asks like, why should we accept you? Just put in their social media hacks Italia, and we'll expedite your application so you don't have to wait weeks for an answer. But yeah, I don't want to be too salesy or anything.
No,
but I definitely appreciate you having me on, and you had some very good questions to ask.
Thank you so much, Tim. It was really an honor to have you here, and I'll be at the event in Milan in October, where I know you'll be speaking the Digital Innovation Days. I have a right hook to make it at the last second. Everything here is free. We do events for free. We do coaching events for free. Like we try to increase the average level of the industry, because I know that if everyone works better, everyone makes more money. Not everyone understands that. So on September 6th, we have an event in Italy, small town, small island. If you happen to be free and you want to take a weekend vacation to Italy and you have the time.
I've never been to Italy, actually, so I'm excited to go to Digital Innovation Days. Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you've never been to Italy, Digital Innovation Days in October. If September 6th, you have a free, like you're free in some ways, and you want to take a few days off in a tiny island in Italy with nice seafood, just send an email and I'll be more.
Well, that sounds amazing. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tim. Thank you for the time you spent with us. Going to close this in Italian really quick. Ragazzi, è stata un'intervista veramente eccezionale, ha confermato tante cose che che cercavamo di insegnare nell'ultimo periodo, quindi avete avuto la conferma per le vendite, per le ads, per la strategia, per tutto quanto. Ho provato ad evitarlo per il 6 settembre, non si sa, penso che non verrà, ma magari sì. Digital Innovation Days ad ottobre, codice su AdLeaks, joinadleaks.com, nel form mettete Social Media X Italia, saltate la waiting list, gruppo assolutamente raccomandato. Io ci sono stato per un periodo, c'è Daniele dentro, c'è tanta gente dentro, è super valore. Grazie a tutti per aver seguito questa diretta, ci vediamo alla prossima. Thank you so much, Tim.
Thank you.